Hello everyone, my name is Auro and welcome to the 30th devlog of Mortal Glory 2, a turn-based gladiator roguelike. This week I decided to mostly focus on my events in the game, and by events I'm referring to these like short stories you get sometimes between battles, like a mysterious stranger approaches you and choose between these three options how you react to that, and yeah, things like that. I had already implemented some of the functionality before, but content-wise, I mean talking of the actual events, I had to start from zero. So I opened a new empty document and so started listing different ideas there that I figured might be cool, both like story-wise and also potentially visually, and then which I could also tie into some actual in-game functionality like aiding you in battle or something like that. Coming up with these ideas was actually surprisingly easy, I will say, since I am not a writer or anything like that, but what took quite a bit more time compared to that was the actual like implementation of these events, because I wanted them to be fairly unique, like distinct from each other, so there was a lot of custom functionality I needed to actually code in the game. I also had to add some dynamic elements into the events themselves, like for example, with many events I have something like a character approaches this specific character, so I have like a dynamic string there that okay, it will pick a random character from your team to like add the name to the event itself. And then kind of similarly I have some events that maybe improve a random item that is equipped, so it will take an item and then showcase that in the event, or kind of like relate to that item part is that you might get a specific item or you might be able to choose from specific items, so that's all custom code I had to add to actually visualize all that. So implementing all that took quite some time, and the kind of unfortunate part of that was that since there was a lot of unique things to add, the code I ended up with is kind of messy, because I was in a hurry and I just wanted to get the functionality in place and not worrying about ending up with clean code or something like that. So yeah, it's it's not very pretty to look at, but hey, at least it works. Another part that took quite some time was picking the event pictures, so there's the text part and then next to that is always a picture of some sorts. Now the best option for these would have been to commission these all from an artist, but the downside of that is that it would have cost a lot, probably something like 5 to 10,000 euros for my needs, and to be honest I don't really have too much extra money currently, so yeah, I need to come up with some other type of an alternative solution. So an alternative solution I ended up going with was public domain. So basically finding some nice looking paintings from popular artists that are now in public domain, so they are free to use. Luckily there are a bunch of different sites that list these paintings and other types of art pieces. Mostly these are like digital web pages for museums or stuff like that, so yeah, it's very handy to set the filters and then just go through everything and see what pleases your eye. I also decided that I wanted to add some extra on top of these paintings to add some little unique touch, so yeah, I tried different filters and I ended up with this like oil paint filter that I then add on top of the paintings, and I also adjusted some of the like saturation, contrast, some coloring in different pieces. The main aim of all this was kind of like unify the paintings as much as I could as a non-artistic person, to like try to make it seem like they're part of the same collection even though they're like from a million different artists actually. Then as a like sprinkle on top in the game I added this like glow shader effect to the picture, so it's like yeah, goes up and down the brightness, and the end result I think it looks pretty nice for a $0 investment, but I would also love to hear your opinion, like what do you think about the pictures you see on the video? Do you like them? Do you have some critique of them? And yeah, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion. One potential kind of an annoying downside that I actually already received one comment from my tester was that the event pictures I have could be mistaken for AI art, which they are not. And this is kind of funny because, as said, I used popular paintings that are in public domain. So if they look like AI art, that is because like probably all the generative AI art system have probably like ingested these public domain pictures and then are using those to like generate new pictures that have a similar style. So yeah, it'll be kind of annoying if the art gets misjudged as AI art, but I mean, hey, at least I have a ready like argument against it, and I have all the like original pictures I can just pull up and hey, like this is an actual like popular painting, look at this, it's not AI art. But yeah, after adding all the event pictures, I was now done with the events, and funnily enough, originally I planned like maybe I could have something like 30 different events. That's what I'm like aiming for. In the end, I ended up with something like over 40 different events, so yeah, more than I intended, but that's good for variety. Then as a quick funny side mention, I found this kind of like a combination bug, not really bug, kind of a feature thing. I had this unique character effect that makes your skills instant in the game, so they don't take up a turn, but instead you will get a long cooldown on those skills. And then I had another character effect that makes it so that every time you use a skill, you will get a new skill in place of that. And randomly I like started thinking about these two, like, hey, what happens when you put these together? Yeah, those work together as well as you could imagine, so yeah, I had to add some downsides to combining these two, and I imagine I will get a lot of similar unintended interactions because I have a lot of unique character effects in the game. But I mean, that I guess that's also like part of the fun to discover interesting interactions like these. And then as another kind of small thing, I added more of these like skill description additions. So in the game I have these like small icons in the skills that you can hover over, so you get like some extra information about the functionality of the skill, like what it can target and like what is the radius of an effect, and if there are like special mentions like it cannot target bosses or objects or stuff like that. So yeah, I already had a bunch of these in the game, but now I have a bunch more. As one last thing that kind of annoyed me, I could mention that I was about to seek this like governmental business grant, like a small scale one, to aid with the development. It's like this 6,000 euros, which I have understood is very easy to get, but you can only get it once. So yeah, I was about to apply for that, and I was like planning the like exact schedule when it's the best to apply for that, and then I was about to use that for localization of the game, which is like the most costly part of the game by far. But yeah, as I was about to go and fill the application, I encountered a message that said that okay, the application process for this year has unexpectedly closed 2 days ago when I was about to fill the application. So yeah, I won't be able to get that now for the game, but maybe I can get it next year. I'm hoping they will like continue that same grant, because as a solo dev, one annoying thing is that for many grants I I'm not eligible because I'm a solo dev. Usually they have something like you need to have 3 team members or something to apply for a grant. So yeah, kind of annoying, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So yeah, what can you do? I'm now trying to kind of like activate myself to seek all of these like different grants and support things that are available, because I mean, yeah, it's basically a chance for free money, so it's a very wise thing to try to apply for those, but usually it's very boring and bureaucratical. So previously I've been kind of like pushing it off because the sales have been good and fun at the development, but yeah, but now the sales are not as good as they were, which is natural. And yeah, of course, I also have more expenses now with the baby being born earlier this year and everything. So yeah, now I'm forced to stress more about the money and start thinking like different ways how I could get some revenue. And yeah, not gonna lie, it's not really the best feeling having to constantly stress about the money and going like negative revenue wise like many months in a row. But yeah, I mean, this is what I signed up for, and luckily my situation is still like decent. I have some savings and I'm still very hopeful for the future, but this kind of like middle period between the release, like before release, yeah, it's pretty stressful, not going to lie. I already sent one grant application to another place, so yeah, fingers crossed on that. But hey, that's actually everything I have for this devlog, so as per usual, I would love to hear your opinions and comments and everything in the comments. What do you think about what I did in this devlog? Do you have any feedback, suggestions, improvement ideas, any of that sort? I would love to hear in the comments. And yeah, hey, otherwise I thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.